Alright, here we go. This is a custom 1v1 on Duel between the blue player in the upper left-hand corner. It's not me, once again. This is rigelglen. And, you know, the funny thing is, Ken did reply to that forum post that, the bug report that Insomniac started that I posted in. And he said it should be fixed for the next patch. So I think this is the first time ever that I've actually wanted a patch to happen, because usually it breaks my replays that I've been sent. But this is the very first time I've kind of been like waiting, like hoping, man, I hope it's gonna be patched soon, just so it doesn't look like I'm playing in all of my videos, because that's pretty awkward. But right now this is rigelglen in the Steampunk Striker and his opponent Valinor in the bottom right hand corner with the Steampunk Chopper. It's Steampunk Helix. I don't think I can ever get through an entire match with a Helix in it without saying the word chopper. So, you know what? I'm not going to bring attention to it anymore. It's just torture in my head right now. But we do see a lot of levelers down by Valinor. He has 2 down on the field, which is a pretty standard number in a 1v1. Now, Rigel going for a little bit of harass, not able to kill anything actually right now. Valinor with Dills in queue, doesn't have any Seekers in queue. I would, you know, I still really would like to see some Seekers going down on the field just to deter. You can always sell them later kind of thing, but right now Rigel's still trying to do a little bit of harass all by himself, no units, even though he does have 2 Rebels and an Archie in queue. He is not, and Valinor, you know, trying to save up, just picking up what he can to save them, but just queuing up Dillos for the defense. He will probably drop some right now. Or he's waiting. Oh, he's waiting. Oh, now he finally has hit level 2. He finally hit level 2. Now he does have rockets, and he can prevent Rigel from doing any further harass. And that is just the trump card that is the Helix's ability. That is those air-to-mech rockets. So anytime that a mech wants to do any kind of harass, you don't have to invest any credits into Seekers to really deter them completely. And now Rigel finally completely low in energy, almost getting killed actually, and I think he is going with a high damage resistance low speed striker, so it's kind of like having Beppo without actually having used Beppo. Well, but then you don't get the bonus attack, I guess. Sure, why not? But Valinor with a big Dillo push from his fort. That fort push so tricky because if it doesn't get scouted out, you can just kind of distract the opponent and prevent them from actually knowing what's happening. And that's the thing that happens a lot of times when you have a fort push or a push from the fort. Is right now there is a little bit of action going down here, but Rigel still not aware. Now finally does see all those Dillos, but I think he will get killed in the area by Valinor. Does get finished off, and so all these Dillos gonna bypass all this stuff. But actually Valinor trying to stop them. But no, actually using them, gonna split them, using a couple here at mid. I'm not really sure if this is the right, this is a good location for them, because usually you try to start on your side, but now Rigel trying to defend against this, dropping whatever Dillos he had in queue, but now has to queue up more. Definitely can't keep up with how many Valinor already has on the field. It is a 93 to 67 upkeep difference right now, so it's kind of, Valinor obviously has a big lead right now, but I mean, that Rigel is going to start to push out now, and the upkeep will kind of even out right about now, just because he will bring a bunch of stuff out of queue, and at this point there are a lot of Dillos coming. I don't think this is actually going to be enough to completely clear all of Valinor's stuff. It might be able to neutralize, but no, actually Rigel didn't set that stuff on capture. He did set them on attack, so they are going all the way for his fort, and he's trying to take down Valinor in the air right now, but Valinor with all the time in the world to use this defense. Oh, but Rigel does redirect them, picks up a bunch of these, and they will go for the fort. So Valinor did used up a couple of credits, dropping those Dillos over at his fort to get that defense off, but now Rigel has been able to neutralize this. Let's see if he can actually kill a fair amount of units. Valinor with no artillery again in his loadout. He is going with the bomber Helix, and right now this is look at all the units over here by Rigel. He will go out and push again, so I do think he will be able to take this mid, even though most of his units have been killed over here. He has a lot coming. Well, 4. I don't know why he stopped at 4. I guess he didn't want to completely go all in with all those units at his forward. But Valinor has been able to take this, and with that outpost in control, has been able to heal up a bunch of stuff, has been able to drop a couple fixers. It has gone back down to neutral, so Rigel not coming with any infantry though, just continually dropping bombs, those Liberty super sparkly bombs, but will be able to kill a lot of units. Valinor, I don't know if he was trying to evacuate any units over there, but once again, no no infantry in his queue except for those fixers. But those fixers will probably never ever walk into that outpost just because they are, you know, they just will hit salvage things to salvage and things to heal up first. All pretty much no way for that thing to walk in, you know, within, you know, 10 or 15 seconds. So, and that in AirMech, that is kind of an eternity. Right now, we do have 2 bulbs up for Rigel, and Valinor had to retreat back to his fort, but now Rigel's stationing over the outpost. I think he did send more units out over here. And right now, Valinor trying to bring up what he can. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. He did have, I don't know why he made this Aegis, but I guess maybe to combat against Rigel's air-to-air missiles, or maybe possibly against the following seeker missiles. But at this point, he really needs a ground-attacking army, and Rigel does have this outpost in his control. Once again, goes back down to neutral, and Valinor, actually, now Valinor does have the unit advantage here. It's slightly ahead, but most of the units from both sides have been killed, except for Rigel's 4 tanks are proceeding. Oh no, those were creeps. Those are creeps. See, that is the thing about the minimap. It doesn't really tell you that much. Oh, and Valinor not getting finished off by Rigel there. Rigel with that strange choice to land a lot. I mean, he didn't do it next to a cliff. So usually you sort of land next to a cliff, so you can do that quick walk off, so you can get that transform much faster. Because I don't know what it is on every single mech, might be different, but I know it's about 2-second transform delay. You need to wait 2 seconds before you can transform back into the ground or back to the air. And right now, again, just push after push after push. A lot of Dillos going from left and right for both players, except now Rigel once again setting them to attack instead of capture. They aren't going to be stopping at that mid, and actually Rigel losing this battle in terms of health, and he is deep in enemy territory. Valinor trying to kill what he can instead of going for the kill on Rigel. Now Rigel lost all those tanks. Okay, now he is economically behind with all those tanks getting lost. 76 to 96 upbeat difference, so it's not humongous, but it is significant enough such that Valinor would probably be considered in the lead at this point. You know, like decidedly in the lead. He has been able to neutralize this outpost. It is going to be under green control for now. Will he be able to ferry enough stuff over to the other side to actually hold his ground this time? Right now, Rigel is losing most of his Dillos, and has been able to kill a few, but right now going for this forward factory. Will be able to neutralize it. There are a lot of creeps that have been able to wander all the way over here. Valinor trying to handle Rigel over here, but not going to be able to kill him. I do think this will. Whoa, wow! This is going to be blue, and I think Rigel has a significant amount in his queue. Is going to queue up defensive probes. Not going to get him enough. Not going to get enough in before he loses the outpost. But he has a fair surround at this point. He has control of Valinor's forward. You know, just unit-wise, he has a lot of stuff over here. Valinor is actually you know, demolishing a lot of the units over here with those rockets. He does have level 3 rockets already, which is one of the main you know, one of the main things that you do level up as a Helix. He did completely max that out. He has 2 points into carry, so he will be able to carry. I think he's actually already able to carry 2 bombs right now without boosters. As that, you know, 2 carry capacity upgrade, level 8 Helix. I'm pretty sure. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's either 8 or around that number. And once again, Rigel going with another push, mixing Rebels with Dillos this time, so we'll be able to probably will be able to neutralize this unless he really did split them. Either that or he just set them all on T and there was not enough waypoints here at the mid to be able to actually hold them here. A couple Rebels wandering out there, but this will probably get neutralized. Only 1 bulb up left, and there is still a fair mix of both teams' units over here. Obviously, Rigel stuff on the left, Valinor stuff on the right, but at this point, Rigel with you know, with a lot of units over here has been able to neutralize it and has kind of pushed Valinor back, but Valinor with those levelers is already level 8, has a Goliath on the field already, and right now Rigel is kind of losing, especially with a Goliath. This is looking a little bit grim. Rigel doesn't have Goliaths in his loadout either. He has just a bunch of, he does have, but he's actually queuing up more Armadillos instead. This is pretty much a tickle cannon compared to what the Goliath will feel with that heavy armor. and that extremely high HP, I don't think this Dillo push is going to do anything at all. Now that Valinor has a very good surround, shooting in with rockets, contributing a lot of his DPS. Now Rigel just trying to go for the front door. I would have thought he maybe would have tried to go for an outpost instead. Maybe this close by Valinor, just because it's only 2 Dillo defended. If he kind of concentrated 1 Dillo down and dropped them all in one corner, getting finished off on the ground there. Valinor with that follow, dropping Goliath, moving those Dillos out of the way, and at this point Valinor has more, has a good hold on his forward, or at least will once he drops these Dillos, and has a good hold on mid, has a couple more, Dillos coming out. And the Goliath is out on the field, so that is a humongous advantage for Valinor. And now a completely empty front door. Rigel is forced to deal with this at this moment, so now Valinor will have a little bit of extra time to do a quick scout, to do a quick, do whatever harass he wants to do. Will be able to get that moneymaker. He probably will. Okay, I thought he was going to go for that artillery just because he would have been completely safe on the ground there. I don't think that Rigel had anything on the ground to defend. Had a Goliath, but if he danced around fast enough, he definitely would have been able to be fast enough to avoid that Goliath fire. And now even more moneymakers going down by Valinor, trying to get that boosted economy, trying to use those extra sockets at mid to his advantage. Not going to get finished off here by Rigel. And those, I don't think he fired his missiles, did he? Oh, yeah, he did, but he wasn't actually able to take off enough HP to really do a good job to finish off Valinor in the air. The same thing there, did not get those rockets off to actually, I don't know if he actually connected that time. Oh, but this time he will get the kill on Valinor, will be able to finish it. That is not me, that is Rigel, and he is going to be able to get, oh, he's going for the Goliath. Yeah, he will be able to finish off this Goliath before Valinor respawns. I thought he was going to go for the moneymaker, which is probably what does not, oh, that is painful. Does not get that kill on that Goliath. He was having to deal with both that Goliath and that Dillo's fire, so he took a little bit too much damage and was not able to finish off that Goliath before he got finished off himself. And now Valinor with a Goliath at the front door. Now Rigel having to dedicate 2 Goliaths at the front door, and Rigel with bombs. Bombs are not that great against the Goliaths. He is going to go for the moneymaker, but Valinor really quick, able to swoop it up in time. And right now, Valinor has a humongous lead. There's a 123 to 72 upkeep difference. And right now, okay, yeah, Rigel has kind of no choice but to take action ASAP, because the further he lets this go, the further the advantage that Valinor will be able to get in this battle, just because he has that mid, he has those two sockets filled with moneymakers. So if he needs to take action, now. He is going to start to push out with these Goliaths as well. I would imagine he's sending some outposts, and he's sending some to the fort, but Valinor with just that extra harass was able to kill that moneymaker, further putting Rigel behind in terms of the long run. And these Goliaths, I think, are probably set to, I guess they look like they're going in for capture, but this one is going to make a right turn to the fort probably. But no, Rigel does pick it up and set it down here. Back facing the outpost and front facing the back of these Goliaths. So really advantageous dropping positions there. And Rigel with a really great micro is able to get those Goliaths behind enemy lines, killing a lot of units actually. And Valinor is kind of struggling to keep up with this. He has much less power. Much less power generation than Rigel, especially because he has way more units out on the field. Right now, Rigel's actually gained control of mid with these Goliaths, and with 4 probes was not able to. I think 1 bulb did get knocked down in the meantime before all 4 probes got in. Either that, or I think 1 got killed, but I really doubt that was what happened, just because he dropped them all right on the wall of that outpost, surrounded by his own Goliaths. Well, right now Rigel actually has been able to retake control of this middle outpost. I don't see a way for Valinor to actually hold it at this moment. He has even lost his forward because Rigel had a couple creeps coming up there, I think. Right now, Rigel, with a lot of creeps, will be able to get this in his control, and I think he'll be able to, let's see if he has anything in his queue. He does have 1 Goliath in his queue. He really needs to put it down before he loses this outpost. Does have a couple of defensive probes. A little bit late, though. He hasn't been able to drop them to be able to relight bulbs before this outpost got neutral, but Valinor forced to retreat back now. Wow. That was a really great, I didn't think that push would work, but Rigel with that really intense micro, dropping it behind all of Valinor's Goliaths, and Valinor not, not counter-microing Rigel there, probably could have picked up and dropped his Goliaths to reposition them to a more advantageous position, but right now Rigel putting more pressure on Valinor, not stopping, gonna continue with these Rebels, gonna get this neutralization. I don't see a way for Valinor to keep this outpost for now, at least. Yes, it does go down to neutral. A couple creeps are probably no creeps are coming in right now, but Rigel has been able to clear all the units over here. Well, actually no, both of these Dillos are still alive, and Valinor actually was able to save that Moneymaker, but not able to save that Dillo. And right now Rigel with more creeps behind the outpost will probably be able to neutralize this again, unless Valinor no defensive fixers, and no, he didn't grab any creeps. Now finally is going for those creeps. And at this point, he will, okay, yeah, preventing Rigel from taking it completely. And with more high-level creeps now, we are already in quarter 4. Those creeps are those, high-level Sam-like creeps. And right now there are, he has been able to retake it and bunkering those high-level creeps as well. Extremely good for defensive purposes. And Rigel just shooting his missiles while Valinor is over his outpost, so that kind of didn't do anything. And, this meager harass isn't really getting him anywhere. So at this point, Valinor with a full queue of Goliaths. Let's see if this can get him anywhere. I do think, actually, he might be able to retake this middle outpost with all those Goliaths. There are only 3 Goliaths here, and Valinor with 5 in his queue, gonna be able to take down this Dillo as well. If Rigel continually drops, he might actually be just throwing away credits instead. And there are actually 2 Aegis over there for Valinor. I really don't agree with those down on the field. Yes, maybe he will be able to be guarded by those missiles, or from those missiles that Rigel... Oh, and Rigel did see that Valinor is pushing out with those Goliaths there, so he is taking this little opportunity to drop those Rebels while Valinor is, while Valinor's Goliaths are going to take forever to proceed over here. And right now, Valinor has been able to drop a Goliath here and finish off quite a lot, actually. He still has all those Goliaths sitting, oh, where did they go? I guess he canceled all those Goliaths. Or, no, wow, I'm tripping right now. They're already all over here. He has been able to distract Rigel long enough for his Goliaths to reach this mid, and, as that Helix, he will be able to micro them around fairly well, but Rigel with that good fire, almost killing Valinor in the air. Oh, not able to finish him off, but he is, he didn't continue trying to pin him down. He did that thing where you kind of circle around and fake trying to retreat, but he did it a little too. He went a little too far and wasn't able to keep Valinor, under enough pressure to keep that fire over him to finish him off in the air. So Valinor was able to get away, but this outpost is neutral. Most of the Goliaths have been killed. There are 2 proceeding over to Rigel's fort. I don't think there is anything, once again, nothing defending that fort, except he is going to be able to finish off these Goliaths on the way there, and I don't think Valinor is going to be able to make that same kind of progress over here. Does get finished off in the air, and now Rigel with this little bit of extra time. I doubt Valinor is going to... Oh, he doesn't even have credits to spend on a faster respawn. I do think Rigel is going to be able to really grab a good foothold here on mid. He does have Berthas in his loadout, so he probably... And he had them queued up for a brief period of time there, but with that push incoming, he did have to cancel it and dedicate those credits to more ground defense stuff like tanks. And now trying to get that Moneymaker, does not get it. Valinor was able to swoop it up before Rigel got that kill. And with those rockets, really effective, with those air-to-mech rockets, really effective in terms of deterring those harassment attempts by any mech coming, especially if they just come themselves and not coming with any units. And Valinor doing the very responsible and economic thing, trying to restock his Moneymakers, but Rigel here doing a little bit harassed. Valinor gonna try to do the same thing, so Rigel will be able to get some Moneymaker. Valinor will be able to get way more Moneymakers than Rigel, though. Actually, with those rockets, will be able to kill. Already has 3. Rigel only trying to hit some front door attack right now, and he does realize he is getting... he doesn't try to respond to Valinor. Valinor continually killing all these Moneymakers, but right now Rigel hitting the weak spot on this outpost and then undefended spot will be able to neutralize it before Valinor gets back. There's... He is... Actually, he went and killed the Aegis, so that is a lot of credits that just got killed. But right now Valinor has lost his forward. Not a humongous... not a humongous deficit there. He just had to bring those extra creeps, but he did lose a few units and is losing a little bit of time, and Rigel forced to rebuild his moneymaker. So right now it is kind of back and forth, but not in a kind of like positional back and forth where it's being pushed back and forth. Where I guess, you know, Rigel had to rebuild his stuff. Now Valinor has to rebuild his stuff. Now rebuilding a moneymaker, just, you know, the more time the moneymaker is out on the field, the more money you get, the more units you get, the more, you know, the more ground you can make, the more ground you can cover using units to push. And Valinor shooting in here. Oh, actually might actually get this Goliath killed. No, Rigel is able to swoop it up before he gets that kill. And right now, Rigel finishing that completely healing that Goliath. And right now, Valinor probably going to be able to get this kill. Those rockets are so fast in killing moneymakers. And he's not stopping. He's just doing the exact same thing. And Rigel restocking moneymakers, but Valinor just having a field day, you know, killing them all. Rigel does respond quicker this time, much quicker. He was less distracted by his own stuff that he was able to come back pretty quick. But Valinor is actually killing a lot with these rockets. And Rigel not choosing to immediately save that moneymaker, but I guess it probably was worth it. Valinor very deep into enemy territory, does get finished off by Rigel's units. And now Rigel trying to figure out what to do. He does look around. Obviously that forward is really well defended by those Goliaths, and this close is pretty well defended by those Dillos. There is obviously a weak side on here, right here, this unbunkered side, because those Dillos are not corner positioned. But Rigel has been able to kill 2 moneymakers during Valinor's respawn time, and Valinor finally respawning, coming back and you know, pushing him out of the area. But right now Valinor is just continually, they are playing the long game for sure, but the thing is, we are only 4 minutes from overtime 2, and you know, the long game, oh no, look at all these Goliaths coming out for Rigel. Rigel trying to find a weak spot on this outpost, but not going to really find one, and Valinor will be able to take care of those rebels very easily, so that was kind of a wasted drop there. But now the Goliaths are coming out, more rebels coming out, and Rigel, he's saying WTF, why, what's happening? Is he, tanks shouldn't be kissing. What is that? Oh yeah, right there. They're just sitting right next to each other. I'm not really sure why they're so close to each other. Usually they're a little bit more spaced out, but no, you know, it's not super unnatural. But now Rigel is stopping this push. He is just using, I guess he used that to move a little bit forward. It wasn't really 100% necessary, but you know, that's what resulted. I guess he probably backed off on that push, just because you know, I guess what he tried to go out with did not actually pan out. But now with the Bertha on the field, that is the traditional standard way to approach it right now. But Valinor sees a lot of grouped up stuff, is going with the bombing helix style. Obviously level 15, those levelers were finally, those levelers were replaced eventually by moneymakers. But now he is all the way up max level. He has a lot. He has the capacity to carry 2 bombs clearly, and was able to actually kill a fair amount of units over there. But now not more, bro. That's the same one. He was just healing up. But I would expect Rigel to actually try to put down more brothers on the field. He is kind of stuck. Valinor has a pretty good turtle on that forward outpost with all those Goliaths. So it's very unlikely that Rigel will actually be able to neutralize this outpost and have it have it surrounded to the point where he can gain control of it. So it is only natural that he would start bringing out artillery, and that is what he is doing. He has another berth out on the field, but is just continually trying to drop rebels to get this neutralized. I don't really agree with this style of approach here, just because it's so well defended that all of his rebels are just going to die, and at the very most you can neutralize the outpost, but you won't have control of it. And so all Valinor would have to do is just bring some more creeps over, and especially with the amount of Goliath that Valinor has this surrounded by. Actually does get finished off there, because Valinor, I guess I'm very confused how he got killed there. Valinor also wasn't really sure. I guess Rigel went on the lower area, and Rigel says, "Don't tell me you didn't know." But yeah, I guess Rigel fired his rockets there, finishing Valinor on the ground, and he was a little bit lower, because this is a greedy game. Rigel, you know, those rockets didn't get a lock on Valinor, but Rigel, with really good aim and, you know, with really good positioning, was able to finish off Valinor on the ground using rockets. And that is just something I've actually never seen before. I knew you could do it, but I've actually personally never seen it before. That's pretty interesting, unique. But now Valinor finally back to the battle, but these Goliaths are getting contested by 2 Berthas. No more out on the field. I still am saying the same thing. I would think that Rigel would put another Bertha down on the field. But right now, at this point, a lot of high-level players kind of frown upon heavy artillery play. It's not, I mean, I don't want to say anything good or bad about artillery play, but it is sort of, in terms of what you can watch and show and, you know, action purposes, artillery wars are sort of just repositioning wars. They don't, you know, there's not much movement. It's kind of stagnant. And that's why a lot of high-level players do kind of frown upon heavy artillery play right now. And I guess that is why Rigel is not really producing more Berthas, just because he probably doesn't really want to. He obviously isn't in an Osprey, which is kind of the mech that has the largest advantage in an artillery war. However, Valinor doesn't even have any artillery right now, so he is just going with the double helix, or double bombing helix. And right now he is probably going to lose this outpost. Rigel doesn't have enough creeps alive right now to be able to take this outpost, but we are finally in overtime 2. So right now I do think Rigel obviously has the advantage with that middle outpost, but Valinor, I think he has more Goliaths on the field. I'm not sure. Actually, it's probably about even now that I'm looking at it more closely. But Rigel, you know, still with my name on him, it does have, you know, is controlling the area of battle here with all the pressure that he's able to put down on Valinor's 2 outposts on his side, this factory and this close outpost here, which he's actually been able to neutralize. So at this point, Rigel is definitely aware that he's neutralized this. I'm not really sure why he's bringing more rebels. He does grab some creeps, doesn't have enough, definitely doesn't have enough, and Valinor dropping some himself, and with, you know, this is obviously really close to his fort, so Valinor is able to actually bring more creeps much faster than Rigel is. And Rigel not queuing up probes, I would have expected maybe just, you know, kind of spamming probes at this outpost just so he can actually grab it momentarily, but Valinor was able to retake it, and as of right now we are kind of at a stalemate. I don't see a way for Rigel to push on Valinor's outpost successfully. But clearly Valinor is you know, at a disadvantage right now positionally, and I don't think, I mean, with all the Goliaths here at mid, which is kind of the crux of this map right now. Oh, but Valinor will be able to get this finish on Rigel, and now, I'm so used to saying that, like, oh, some guy got killed, and now he can take advantage of it. But you know, Rigel, I think he did spam that respawn shortener button because he did get back way quicker than I would expect a level 14 striker with you know, with parts that I think parts that have a respawn penalty. So right now Valinor finally starting to push out. I still think this is not gonna win. Look at all the stuff that Rigel has over there, including pretty much the same number of Goliaths, but in a defensive position. Now Rigel's stationing his stuff over at the bottleneck, repositioning his Berthas, repositioning his artillery defensively, but not grabbing that lead Goliath. I'm guessing he is putting it there to tank a little bit of damage and will grab it later. No, it does die. And in the meantime, Valinor has been able to bring a Goliath to the front door, but Rigel, so quick with the blocking, will be able to get that block off, and Valinor just shooting in with his rockets. But you know, the bad thing about doing that is it drains energy so fast, and as that chopper, as that helix, you are kind of dependent on moving stuff around using micro, and if you run out of energy, you are kind of screwed. Valinor now doing that, running out of energy, but there are 3 Goliaths that have made it past that mid. But without Valinor's support here, Rigel will just completely be able to finish off these Goliaths. I think that Striker Sword was actually even able to reach through those 2 Goliaths, finish them both off, so now Valinor's push has been pretty much nullified. He is forced to just do a drop, but this is, and he's actually out of Rigel's radar range, so right now Rigel doing a little bit of harass, just trying to front door, but now Valinor at Rigel's front door has been able to drop that Goliath. Rigel is forced to come back here, and that Goliath will be able to be finished off by these other 2 Goliaths, but Valinor gaining a lot of ground, now is definitely ahead of Rigel in terms of the, you know, that fort health. And with that Goliath putting in a lot of damage, it's still sitting there. It's still sitting there. I think it did get blocked, but Rigel is way behind now. Even though he does have map control, he is 1 outpost ahead of Valinor, trying to finish him off here. Valinor is going to be backing off, but Rigel not stopping with that stock. He doesn't land next to the cliff. I know that cliff walking thing was a little bit nerfed in one of the more recent patches, maybe 2 months ago or so. But I know that you can still do that walk off the cliff thing, even though you don't have to land. You can't land on the corner, pretty much, is what they fixed. But you can still land next to a cliff and walk off pretty quickly. So I'm a little surprised that Rigel didn't do that. But You know, he still got that kill on Valinor, finally respawning now, but Rigel now is forced to push out, but he really, really does need to keep an eye on his fort. Oh man, now Valinor has a Goliath at the front door. Rigel only has Rebels, not going to be able to get enough DPS, and this is going to be a very, very close base race, but not as close as I thought it would have been. Valinor with enough DPS to be able to finish off Rigel before he's able to even come back and get back to that fort. Valinor does take this custom 1v1 over rigelglen, even though it says me still. I really hope this is the last video that just says my name instead of somebody. But looking at the final tallies, Rigel went even, Valinor went a little bit negative, but I mean, Valinor had the higher score. You know, with those levelers, did get more EXP. I think score is just a direct, you know, a direct count of your EXP. It's directly proportional, if not exactly your actual EXP tally. So we do see Rigel with a lot more units lost. You know, obviously with the economy lead the entire game, he had the majority of that. You know, he had more units getting pumped out, but with that really great last those last 2 Goliath drops, Valinor in overtime 2 was able to take this match. Whew. So if you have a match that afterwards you say, hey, this would be really great to cast, send it in to me, RUI0x at gmail.com, at gmail.com, and RUI on Steam, drop in a Steam chat, I'll say hi. This is RUI, and that's game. See you next time.